The loss of TJ, that was such a major loss for everyone. And, that man put a lot of faith in me before a lot of people did. When it comes down to it, TJ, I had such a deep thought and caring for. The loss of him, I think it was felt by so many people there. And I know I'm just one person that felt it, but I know there was the whole building that night, the tribute to him, and the boys won the titles and, all that. It was just such a special night. And I really got to give you kudos for how you did that, because not only were you taking on the weight of the world at that point, you know what I mean? And you were, I'm sure, and nobody knew that because you never let it show, you know what I'm saying? But the other thing is, you're replacing somebody who had been there and had been such a major presence. It had to have been tough, Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I'd give anything just to go and eat and sit down and just talk to TJ, because after that show with Plunkett and Kojima, me and Cersei had to fly to Vegas that Saturday morning. So it's like Saturday morning, we get up, I go to TJ's to settle up with him, because me and Cersei paid for Kojima, but we did a meet and greet. So I had, ticket money to give him. And plus he didn't want to pay me in front of everybody.
Yeah.
Because I had so much fun that night, because like TJ was hanging out, because that's why TJ ran wrestling. It was like his family's weekend cookout or going to the movies, it was their little time to socialize. It's just as much, and he loved, and one thing I loved about Millersville is seeing TJ look out that concession window watching his kids wrestle.
Yeah. It was beautiful, wasn't it? Yeah.
Yes, it was. But, so anyway, like after the show, I wore out, because man, I'd be working 10-hour days and getting off at 2 and flying to Millersville. And so my Fridays were like an 18-hour deal sometimes.
Yeah.
So I'm sitting up there. It's like after the show, and TJ's like, he's not wanting to smart, because and that's another thing. TJ, I don't know what he made, but he had to make some good money that night.
Yeah.
And he's like he's like trying to talk to me in front of everybody. He's like, "Can you come by the house in the morning?" And we settle up on it. I said, "Yeah." So next morning, about 10 o'clock, I go to his house, and him, Kevin, and one other person, I don't remember who it was, but so we settled up on our money, and I went to Vegas, and that was the last time I actually talked to TJ.
Man.
Was in his house that Saturday after that. So Nick Nikers texted me that Tuesday, and we're flying back Wednesday to coming back from Vegas, and he texted me, said TJ's in the hospital.
Yeah.
So so we get back from hell, I don't know if you were around when he was in the hospital. 2 weeks he's in the hospital, but man, there was a ton of us always out there around the clock.
Oh yeah. I came and saw him a couple times. Yeah.
Well, I mean, it was always 10, 12, 20 people out there.
Oh yeah. You were there when I came in there one time. I remember that.
But I mean, there was many nights Cersei stayed out there around the clock with some of them.
Yeah.
But I mean, not just the wrestling, man. TJ, one thing that really touched me about TJ is Chicken Hat Charles lived up the street that I lived on.
Right.
And his mother died, and his mother's the one that took care of him.
Yeah.
TJ called me crying, wanting to make sure somebody was going to take care of him. He was going to let him move in with him.
Wow.
That's the kind of person TJ was. Real quick story with TJ and Chicken Hat. It was just a regular night at Millersville, and it was like the middle of the card, and TJ, he'd sit out, and he was still sitting at the lobby doing his envelopes, and he called, I was coming through for something. TJ said, "Come here, sit down." He said, "You got time to sit down?" I said, "Yeah." He said, "Watch this. Like when the bell rung for the match to start, Charles would run to the bathroom and make sure the lights out and the door shut, and then run back to the seat before the matches started."
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know why, if it was OCD or something or what, but TJ said, watch what he's doing.
Yeah.
And he did that. TJ's like, he does that for almost every match.
Wow, man. Yeah. God bless Chicken Hat. God bless TJ Warrior the B, man. Rest in peace, TJ. We miss you.
This has been a James Rock Street production.